Well, good evening. Happy midweek connection. Here I am in the rain, so I'm bringing the microphone a little closer in so that you can hear. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna change our atmosphere. If it gets a little too hot, we may reconsider it. But rain is nice. It's raining this evening. I'm turning lights on. I turned lights on the back porch, so because it's really kind of dark out. So, and it's in the evening time. So there's that. Anyway, welcome you into Midweek Connection. Not going to hold you for very long this evening in the midst of a bunch of meetings, including a board meeting this evening as well. So taking a quick break from that to jump on here with you and share with you what I have been sort of sitting with, because, you know, we've been talking about the radical power of oneness for 2 weeks in a row. One Love Consciousness Movement along with First Unity joining in together, talking about current events, the way things are in the world, but the way that we envision them to be, rather than being stuck in believing that they're this way and have to be this way. We are in the awareness that just because things are the way they are, it doesn't mean they have to stay that way. That we all can be a part of the shifting of the consciousness. We can take responsibility for the pain, for the suffering, for all of the experiences that we're having, and we can become the alchemists of our own lives. We can take charge and become the awareness and start to live from that space of awareness, knowing that the divine is within us. We're here on assignment. We're here on purpose. We're here with a destiny. We have something good to do in the world. And sometimes that means that we put our reputations on the line, that we speak out and say things that may not be popular in some areas, but we do it anyway. It also means that we become a prophetic voice, crying in the wilderness sometimes, prepare you the way of the Christ essence, the Christ consciousness. And I believe that that's what I'm a part of. So this evening, I wanted to share with you real quick just 3 points around this subject: committed to waking up. I am committed to waking up. So number one, the deepest desire, if you truly commit to awakening, is from the dream state that you've been in. The deepest desire is to awaken from the dream state that you've been in and to become a person that God intended you to be. Then you can start to look at your life differently, and you can take a moment and lay down all of your beliefs. You can start to lay down all of your previous perceptions and ideas, the perceived needs that you have in the world, any fears that have taken root in your mind. You can approach this with love, and you can let the changes that you need to come to you. And everything that you need starts to come to you. But when you commit to waking up, essentially what you're doing is you're being willing to set aside anything that you've had as a strong-held belief. That's the thing that I've been driving home to my own self. Anything that has been a strong-held belief to me is second place to my commitment and my deepest desire to waking up. I'm willing to let go of everything I believed about the world we live in, about the way I was raised, about my personal spiritual beliefs. I said to us all at the end of last year that I'm giving up my spiritual self because I realized that even that self had become somewhat of a construct. So you can start to approach this with love, of course, in your heart, and let the changes you need come. They will come. And no matter how you experience them, welcome them. When our focus becomes the full unfolding of our divine nature, then our energy will flow towards that. And it'll cause everything we need to wake up to be attracted into our life and into our experience. Every person and every circumstance becomes a welcomed visitor. And then I get excited about how this situation or circumstance will help me to evolve, because I no longer see any situation or circumstance as my enemy, including pain, including suffering. I start to welcome them as a part of the ingredients for me to wake up. So my greatest desire, if I'm truly wanting and committed to waking up, then it becomes my greatest desire. I desire waking up even more than what I say I believe. I desire waking up no matter what it takes, no matter what the experience has to be in order for me to do that. I am wanting to be born again more than anything else. And then number two, the dream was never real. You start to recognize that the dream was never real anyway. Our perceptions of the way things have been in that dream state, in that illusion state. And the dreams were never real anyway. Soon enough, there will come a day when all of your pain, all of your fear, all of your suffering will disappear. I like how it said, there's a poem that I read, and I loved this, so I took this from there. That these things will pass away, and they'll disappear like foam blown away by the wind. Foam on the water, foam on the ocean, blown away by the wind, revealing the clear, vast ocean beneath it. You're going to start to feel in every part of your being that the dream was never real to begin with. And so you stop grieving it, you simply let it go because you realize it was not real. Some memories may linger. Some of the experiences you had while in the dream state may linger, reminding you that at one point you were lost in a dream. You were lost in wondering what it might be like to be anything other than the way God created you to be. When you're in the awakened state, you're becoming all that God has called you to be. But those memories will fade into the distant echoes. They'll leave no mark on your spirit. You're going to find yourself smiling gently, no matter what the circumstances are around you, knowing that the dream was never real to start with. And again, there may be some memories of a time when you were thinking of any of the things, being any of the things other than what God had intended for you to be. It's a beautiful way to live, knowing that no matter what is, if you are dedicated to awakening and you're dedicated to becoming all that God has called you to be, that everything else can fade and the fear can go away because you know God's greatest good for you is what God intended for you. And so you're able to have full trust and full faith. And number 3, and this becomes a powerful one, the recognition that I am the Christ. I am a child of the living God. Jesus was simply the firstborn among many. He was representation of that. And let me get a little woo-woo if you're okay with this. The Jesus personality was really a simulation that has been seared into the minds of humanity, not for us to worship Jesus the person, but for us to see the example, the prototype, the example of what we're all called to be. To start to step into your Christed nature, step into your divinity. When you step into that, when you start to declare, I am the Christ, a profound peace, an amazing peace is going to fill you. From the top of your head to the very bottoms of your feet, to the tips of your toes, this peace is going to lead you wherever you go. It'll start radiating from your very being, from every cell in your body. When you enter a room, there's going to be a sense of calm that will come along with you. It'll arrive even before you do. Your aura will go out before you as you start to manifest and unfold the Christ presence within you. As you start to step fully into this awakened state, every place you enter into is going to be blessed by your aura. So as you enter a room, that sense of calm, that sense of peace, that sense of full awareness of divinity is going to arrive before you do. And those who are attuned, that are in that space, they're going to notice it. And they may not even be looking at the doorway that you enter, but they'll wonder who's entered into this place. Some may even start to say, hey, look, I believe that Christ has come into this room. When you sit down to meals with others, I believe they'll start to say, did we not know that the Christ was here with us? It reminds me of the story after the resurrection of Jesus, when he's walking along the road and he's unrecognizable because he's really taken off his persona, and he starts walking with 2 people and talking with them, and they invite him back for dinner. And so he goes back to the house for dinner and he's sharing with them the mysteries of the wonder of God. And as he leaves, they say to him, who are you? He tells them who he is. They look at each other and they said to themselves, oh my God, how did we not know this? Did our hearts not burn with passion within us, knowing that the Christ presence was among us? When we start to live in this Christed awareness fully, we don't have to declare it. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to say it. There's no words that would matter that much anyway. We literally begin to live it. And as we live it, our aura is what exudes that beautiful presence. And then when we sit down to have drinks or to share a meal with someone, they'll be able to say, I think Christ is here. And in that moment, you will realize, they will realize that you are the very presence of God. For you are the Christ, eternal and whole, complete, and desiring to unfold in the world. So my greatest desire is to wake up fully. In this radical time of the radical power of oneness, as we've talked about that, we've talked about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. So to me, to thrive in 2025 is to awaken to that radical oneness, but also awaken to my Christed nature in a way like never before, no matter what it takes. I want to unfold fully into that full expression of the divine presence that I've been called to be. Now, I said I wasn't going to hold you late this evening, and that's what I meant. I'm going to hold to that promise. What is your greatest desire? Do you desire more than anything else to wake up fully to who you truly are supposed to be? Do you desire more than anything else for you to literally become completely all God created you to be? If that is your greatest desire, then it will happen. But know this, that happening may come in ways that you weren't expecting. But know that you can trust the guidance of the divine. And as that divine mind unfolds in you, that Christ nature unfolds in you, such beauty is going to come into your life. Such wonder is going to come into your life. I encourage you today, dig down deep and desire more than anything else to fully awaken to all that you were intended to be. Watch how it affects your life, and I guarantee you'll start to affect the whole world. All right, my friends, I'm going to get up out of here. I have enjoyed this rain this evening. I hope that you have enjoyed a little bit of it too. It's cooling things off some down here. I want to invite you to be with us in the morning for our meditation. Of course, this weekend we'll be back at 10 a.m. on Sunday. And then, of course, we have Friday night. For those of you who are abroad and not able to be there in person, we are going to host our concert with Jessie Powers. She's going to be flying in tomorrow evening. We're going to spend a little time with her, and then she's going to be doing a concert 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday night. Jessie Powers, don't miss that. At first, we weren't going to live stream it, and then we got to thinking, we have so many folks who are abroad. We don't want you to miss this concert, and we ask you to consider contributing. It's a suggested donation of $10. The way to give will be on the screen as we go throughout the concert. It's a fundraiser, and it's also a way to bless Jessie Powers' traveling music touring ministry. So join us. That's Friday night, 7 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. for One Love Consciousness Movement on the same channels as usual. We've spent the last 2 weeks together. This week, we'll be having the two services. So 10 a.m. and then 11 o'clock on Sunday is our 8:30. Actually, 8:30 is our devotional service at First Unity. 11 o'clock is our celebration service. All right, my friends, I hear the music getting started and the birds are telling me to close it down. Now go and make it a great evening because you can. Peace.